resume recording, and then let me just go on to you. I'm going to make you host. And then we can just check the share screen just to see that it does work before everybody comes on.
Okay, let me check.
I wish I was at that picture behind you.
Yeah, me too. Can you see that?
Okay, yeah, no, that's working. That's perfect. Okay, so maybe we should just, I mean, it's just a little bit early, so we'll just wait a few more minutes. There's still quite a lot of people joining, and then we'll carry on from there.
Okay, 100%. I know we said we're going to do Seychelles, but if there's still a few minutes left, should I just touch on the Maldives properties because they're also open?
Yeah, we can do.
I promise you I won't even go a full 40 minutes or something.
No, that's fine. No, we can do that as well. If we're definitely selling them, hey?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, no, as long as we're selling them, then that's fine.
Yeah, especially with the Seychelles, you know, that new Seychelles flight that actually also goes to the Maldives. I think it's actually helping the Maldives sales.
Yes, no,
but
definitely.
Yeah, you definitely sell.
Okay, no, then that's perfect. Maldives has picked up nicely for us.
Yeah, I think also because all the Maldives properties are giving out unbelievable offers. So yeah, it's just very confusing with the COVID stuff. So if anyone's got questions on the COVID stuff, they need to also, you know, ask that as well. I'll try and give them information as I go along, but I know it gets very confusing with the COVID regulations. So I'll try and
I think it is changing all the time, but I think if we've got a general sort of guideline, then it's at least can help everybody a little bit.
Okay, I'll touch on that as well.
Okay, perfect. Let's just wait. Let's just wait another 2 minutes because I see there's still a few more people coming on. Yeah, still a few people joining. Thanks, Joanne. I'll come back to you in a minute or so.
No problem.
Okay, well, morning, everybody. It's a little bit quieter today. I don't know where everybody is. Everybody's hiding. But what we'll do, Joanne, you can maybe just introduce yourself, introduce your properties, and then you can start from there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Joan from African Synergy. So it sounds weird if I say African Synergy, but we represent Constance hotels and resorts in South Africa, as I hope most of you know. Yeah, and basically today we're just going to focus on Seychelles and a bit on Maldives if we've got more than enough time. And as I mentioned before, and I think most of you were on already, if you've got any questions on COVID and so on, I'll try and help you wherever I can. But as you know as well, you know, that change on a daily basis to actually get to these different properties. But I'll touch on that in the presentation itself. Let me just open my presentation and then we can start off from there. Okay, so as I mentioned before, so the Constance Hotels and Resorts, we've got 8 beautiful properties all over the Indian Ocean. And hopefully Mauritius will open soon. Then I can do a nice presentation on those properties as well for you guys. So just to start off, we start on the beautiful island of Mahé in the Seychelles. So Seychelles, as you know, it's quite a few islands all over. It's over 100 islands, which is part of the Seychelles. And you've got the 3 main islands, which is Mahé, which is the, you know, where you've got the capital of Victoria. And then you've got Praslin Island, which is the 2nd biggest island. And then you've got La Digue, which is the 3rd biggest island, which is already quite a small island. I mean, it's quite well known that there's not really vehicles or anything on that little island. People walk around and ride around with bicycles and even ox wagons on this little island. So unfortunately, we don't have a property on Ladik, but it's nice to keep in mind for clients that want to go and do a day visit there, staying at one of the other resorts as well. Sorry, I'm going to do a lot of sort of destination sort of information on here as well, if you need that. So, before we even start with Constance, just on the COVID regulations, the newest is that, of course, you need to have the PCR test when you go to the Seychelles. You need it to actually get on the flight itself. And because we're category 1 country, we don't have the strict regulations as the category 2 countries. So basically what it means is that you basically arrive there with your PCR test, and then you actually can go to most of your properties, to most of the properties, but you can also go and use most of the facilities around there as well. And then you basically, they wait, you wait until the 5th day, and on the 5th day, they've got a test that everyone sort of needs to take, but South Africans can also use it as a test to actually come back into South Africa. But then just to get that certificate, it's going to cost you about 500 Seychelles rupees to actually get that certificate for your return flight, because the return, it needs to be 72 hours, of course, valid for, when you leave the country as well. So that 5th day test you can use for that as well, because the 5th day test, if you just, if you stay a bit longer, the 5th day test is actually part of your it's included into your stay, but as soon as you use it for your flight back, you just need to pay extra for that certificate, because you don't get the certificate when you actually stay on. And then we start with Constance. So the picture you see there, that's the whole Constance, 313 rooms. So it's quite a big property, but you can see it's quite a big area it actually covers as well. And you see that nice green patch there in the middle. That's actually a mangrove forest. It's one of the large mangrove forests that you actually get in the Seychelles. It's just because years ago with the French people that came, those were the only sort of flat areas they can actually build on. So a lot of those areas were actually filled up with gravel, and they build their houses on there. So this is the last pieces of that. So this is a nature reserve in itself, but also the mountains you see in the back, that's also a nature reserve. And that's one of the reasons why you don't get a lot of motorized water sports, except for the north of Mahe, where you get Bourvalon Beach. That's normally where you get your jet skis and skiing and all that sort of thing happening. But all the other places, almost right through the Seychelles, you only get your non-motorized water sports, and then of course your boat cruises and your sunset cruises, as well as your diving and deep sea fishing that you can still do anywhere else. Then, just on the map as well, on the map you can see there's these purple little houses in the south. Those are junior suites. They're situated in the South Beach side. They're all semicircles, which is quite nice. They're surrounding these beautiful pools, 2 of them with their own restaurants inside. And then you've got the North Beach, where we've got our senior suites and our villas. And then, of course, our hillside villas, those yellow little dots there on that side as well. But saying that there's 2 sides, so you've got your South Beach and North Beach side, it doesn't mean that you have to use the South Beach side if you're staying on the South Beach side or the North Beach side. It's basically open up for anyone. And to get from the north side to the south side, you can use the golf cart. This golf cart stops everywhere, and it goes every 10 minutes. It actually leaves. So you don't have to walk all the way from the south to the north side. The only difference is that you've got your Sisalwa restaurant and your Carousel restaurant in the south. So the Sisalwa is for breakfast for the north side people, and Carousel is for the south side people. Just because, for breakfast, you don't want to actually go that far. Starting off with the rooms. So as I mentioned, we've got the 313 rooms. And now for a limited time, we can even sell the tropical rooms. So the tropical rooms are situated more to the back. They're still about 50 square meters big, so it's quite beautiful rooms, all ensuite, but they're situated to the back of the junior suites. So you're not really that close to the sea. But it's a nice affordable option for people that want to actually go to the Seychelles. Then we've got our junior suites. As I mentioned, those are the ones in the semicircles. They're about 30 to 50 meters away from the sea itself. They don't necessarily have a sea view. And that's the one thing also with the Seychelles. If you're not way on top of a hill, you don't really get that many sea views. I think Paradise Sun, I think that's the other property's name. They've got quite a nice view because they're right there on the beach itself. But yeah, you've got a few trees in front of you, and that's just because of the erosion. So they want to prevent erosion of all the beaches. In the Seychelles, they're very focused on the nature side. So they protect wherever possible. You can't just cut a tree to actually make sure that people have a nice sea view. So that's one of the sides of Seychelles where they protect all the beaches and so forth as well. But you're very close to the beach. So even with your junior suites, it's really just 50 meters at most away, and you're right there on the beach itself. Very spacious rooms. We can do easily a family of 3 in these rooms. They're quite, as I mentioned, quite spacious, but they also come with a bath as well as a shower. So it's not just a shower in the rooms itself. The senior suites, as I mentioned, they're situated on the north side. They also, even a bit more spacious. So here we can fit in easily a single bed. But we also do have the interleading options as well for both the junior suites and the senior suite options as well. So for bigger families, you can easily do that as well. Then we've got our villa options. So the villa options, you've got either 2-bedroom villa options or 3-bedroom villa options, which is also great for families. And as you can see on this picture, a villa consists of its own pool. And it's almost, you've got complete privacy because you've got walls around you. So you've got this complete privacy. It's almost like having your home in the Seychelles. So we've got those options as well. And as you can see, very spacious. So with the 2-bedroom ones and the 3-bedroom ones, you've got a double story. So it's either 1 bedroom upstairs, 1 bedroom downstairs, or you've got the 1 bedroom downstairs and 2 bedrooms upstairs. So there are different sort of buildings as such, but you've got the both options of doing the 2 or the 3-bedroom options. Then you've got your hillside villas. So the hillside villas, as with all the other villas, they've got their own pools. Yeah, of course, you've got your infinity pools, and they're situated right on top of the hill, overlooking the North Beach side. And then right on the one corner, you've got our presidential villa, which is a 3-bedroom villa, also having those beautiful sunsets in the west. Then dining options. It's one of the big selling points of Constance Ophelia. We've got 5 different dining options. So clients can actually go, you get a whole program when you get there with all the restaurants open on which nights, and you can book your space at one of those restaurants. So you can actually, as a client, you can go and eat at the different restaurant almost every night if you stay there for a 5 night. This is our Carousel restaurant. It's quite a big restaurant, but it's sort of split up in different sections. So it never feels like this massive, just one block restaurant. And then we've got our Adam and Eve restaurant, where we do our Eastern cuisine. So that's from Middle East to Far East cuisine. So it's from curries to sushi to nice Thai curries as well. And then, of course, we've got our Helios restaurant, which is focusing more on Mediterranean type of cuisine. Then we've got our Sahan restaurant, which is our a la carte restaurant. So even with clients staying on a half-board basis, they can come and eat here, and on the menu itself, it will tell them what the supplement is for each meal to eat here as well. And then we've got the Siselwa restaurant. And then, of course, we've got waiters and all that at other pools and so forth as well. So if you don't really want to actually get up and go to one of the restaurants, you can actually ask one of the waiters to please bring you a hamburger or a nice toasted sandwich or pasta or something like that. So that's also available for the clients as well. Just for those people that do deal with groups, with the meal basis, we can actually do an all-inclusive if it's a group of 10 rooms and more. Under that, unfortunately not. And it's mostly from the Seychelles government side that they don't really like doing the all-inclusive. They want to actually motivate people to actually go out of the resorts and go and enjoy some of the cuisine and some of the services in the area. And that's why you get the smaller islands or the islands as such, that they can do all-inclusive because you can't really go out of the resorts. But on the bigger islands like Praslin and Mai, you actually, you can't really do it all-inclusive because it's frowned upon by the government. But hopefully that will change soon. And then, of course, we've got the bars. We've got 6 different bars to choose from. This is our Z bar, which is our main bar where we do our nightly entertainment. And then we've got our spa. And you can see it's quite a big spa. It's the biggest one in the Indian Ocean. We've got about 18 treatment rooms. And even those 2 pools you see there, those are treatment pools. So they've got these jets giving you a massage, or they've got the stone underneath which massages your feet. So this is open to the guests staying there, but of course the treatments itself, that will be extra charged. Then again, for the sort of the boring part, we also do conferencing. So we've got a conference room which can facilitate 200 people, theater style, fully air conditioned, and we've got all the equipment you need for a proper conference. Then, as I mentioned before, with the water sports, mostly focus on non-motorized water sports, like your stand-up paddling, your kayaking, and all of that, of course, is part of the your stay at the resort, so it's free of charge. Then, of course, you can snorkel straight from the North Beach. They've got a beautiful reef on the right-hand side. And then we can also do the kayaking through the mangrove forest and tell you more about the mangrove forest. But we also have the catamarans and the motorboats to do the sunset cruises, the deep sea diving, as well as the deep sea fishing from the property itself. Then what makes us unique as well, we've got this beautiful big granite hill where the hillside villas is on the one side, but we've got zip lining all the way down from this hill. So we've got 7 sort of lines going down, and all of them about 100 meters long and about 100, 110 meters above this beautiful forest. So you can do the zip lining on the property itself. This will also be extra cost, but I can tell you now, it's all worth it. Then we've got 4 tennis courts, we've got a squash court, a kids club, and I think that's one thing that's nice about the Constance properties. We've got proper nice kids clubs. So it's not just there to to drop your kids off and they can keep themselves busy in the corner. We've actually got programs to make sure that they for 1 week which they stay there, they do different stuff every day. It's also more, I don't want to say educational because then they think it might be school, but it's nice informative there as well, because we take them to tours to go and feed the big tortoises, the Seychelles tortoises, and we tell them more about the turtles themselves. We go fishing, tell them more about the fish itself. So it's very educational as well. Then, of course, we've got the zip lining for the kids. And then we go all the way from Mahai Island and we go to the second biggest island called Praslin. And of course, just while I'm on this picture, just to get to Praslin, there's 2 options. So either you do the extra flight, the add-on flight on Air Seychelles. So you fly into Mahai and then you do a 15-minute flight over to Praslin, or you can do the ferry. So the thing is with the ferry, although it's part of the experience, I find that the ferry, you sometimes actually do get seasick on that ferry. So it's more safer to actually tell your clients to do the flight. And it's not that much more expensive if you actually do the flight that hop over, especially if you book the whole ticket through Air Seychelles. So definitely I would recommend rather doing the short flight to Praslin Island, and then it's only 15 minutes, that flight. And then once you land on Praslin Island, it's not even a 5-minute transfer, and then you get to Lemuria. So Lemuria itself, it's a leading hotel of the world. We've got 3 beautiful beaches. You can actually see 2 of them on this picture, with the main beach on the left-hand side. And then that big beach you see on the right-hand side, that's actually quite famous for all the turtles that comes and they lay their eggs right on that beach. So over December, January, February, they normally hatch. They come out during the night. Also, while we're on this picture, so that's the main entertainment area you see on the left hand side. And then you see this thatch roof just on the rocks. That's actually the Nest restaurant. So that's just one of our restaurants where you can go and enjoy a nice lunch. So just a close up of our main area. So we've got a 3-tier pool. So clients actually, the reception area is just above that. So as clients actually come in, they open the doors. And you've got these beautiful 3-tier pools in front of you, and then the beach and the sea. And it's quite a spectacular sort of scene when you actually get there for the first time. There's also a glimpse of our legend restaurant on the left top side as well. Another great selling point of Constance Lemuria is that we've got an 18-hole championship golf course. And of course, your green fees are included when clients actually stay at the property itself. And it's a beautiful golf course, as you can see. You know, even for me, that's not really, yeah, I would love to be a golfer, but I mean, just to go and walk around there and have a hike on the golf course itself, it's spectacular with these beautiful hills and scenes over the sea itself. There's actually one hole here just on top of the hill where you hit down the hill, and then you see Anse Georgette. So that's our third beach. You see it on the left-hand side. It's one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Starting off with the rooms, so we've got 110 suites, 105 suites. This is our junior suites. Again, very spacious. They're all situated more or less sort of 30 meters away from the beach itself. It goes all along the beach. But of course, you've got the palm trees and all that in front of you, but very spacious. And then we've got our senior suites. The senior suites are situated closer to the main area, but also a few square meters bigger. And then, of course, we've got the 2-bedroom villa options. So the 2-bedroom villa options, what's nice about them is you've got this beautiful lounge that's situated right in the pool itself. And we've got about 8 of these villas all along the beach. And then, of course, it ends off at the one corner of the property. We've got our presidential villa, which is a 3-bedroom, 3-tier pool villa with its own little private beach as well. Dining wise, we've got 4 different restaurants to choose from. We've got the Legend restaurant. That's the one we saw on that earlier picture. Beautiful view. You're about 3 stories above sea level, so you can just imagine the views from there. And then we've got our Diva restaurant. This is our a la carte fine dining restaurant. Fantastic food, and you can see the whole theme is basically under the sea, but also bringing the purples to make it a bit more funkier. You can see the sea urchin lights. And then you've got your Nest restaurant, which is great for your lunchtime. For your lunchtimes, we also do now and then we do dinners here as well. But this is that one situated between the 2 beaches, right there on the rocks. And then right on the beach, we've got the Takamaka restaurant, which is for your light meals, your light lunches. You know, so you don't have to go too far away from the beach itself. And then we've got 2 hidden spots just behind the Nest restaurant, right on those rocks, where we can do a nice setup for clients when they're on honeymoon, or, you know, when they want to pop the question. This is actually, you know, quite a nice romantic place to be. Then bar-wise, so we've got 5 different bars to choose from. This is the Huna bar, which is the main bar area. And then, of course, being a leading hotel of the world, we've got a leading spa of the world, with all kinds of treatments you can think of. And then again, for the more boring side, we don't really have a conference center here, but we can do conferencing for up to 22. We can do a board meeting for up to 22 people. But we can also do a marquee tent on the golf course as well. So conferencing is not impossible. We can do it. But I find that Ophelia is more popular when it comes to that. Then, of course, we've got our tennis courts, bicycles. We do have the golf cart also going up and down for the people that's living, you know, more on the villa side. So we've got that available for people that don't want to walk. And then again, with your water sports activities, it's the same as Constance Ophelia. We're surrounded by a nature reserve. So again, it's mostly focusing on your non-motorized water sports, stand-up paddling, paddling boats, windsurfing, all those sort of things. But we've got a paddy dive center, and you've got the snorkeling gear right there on the beach itself, so you can snorkel straight from the main beach as well. And as I mentioned before, we're well known for that long beach where all the turtles go and lay their eggs. We've actually got a turtle information center where people can go and they can tell you more about the different turtles that actually visit the resort right through the year. and it's very interesting. Even sometimes you can actually walk with the kids club as well, where they walk with you and you actually go and you look for the places where they actually laid the eggs, and you just go and you put flags there to actually protect that area. So you help them in that way as well. This is just our Anze Georgette, which is our. So we've got a golf cart going on an hourly basis and drop people there, and then they can take you back as well, because it's a bit of a walk. But so if you don't want to walk, you can do this. But the hiking is also fantastic on the resort itself, because you've got these beautiful mountains. You can actually just go take a backpack and just go and explore a bit of this area, because it's almost, the resort almost takes up the whole sort of northern side of the Praslin Island. Then, as I mentioned before, we've got the beautiful golf course, 18 hole. It's actually part of the Senior PGA Tour now, so it's a well-known golf course all over the world. And then, of course, the Kids Club. And again, Praslin Island is well known, of course, for the nature side. This is where they've got the protected area to protect those coco de mer, those big double coconuts. But it's also well known for the big Seychelles tortoises. And I think one of them is already 115 years old. So it's well known for that. And even on our property, we've got those turtles. So even with the Kids Club, they go and feed these turtles. And again, we take them through the nature site, where we tell them more about the birds and all the animals you get on the Seychelles. So very informative. So that's the Seychelles. I hope everyone, if you've got questions or anything like that, you can always, ask Wendy, or you can, if you've got my details, you can always ask me direct as well. Then we go all the way over to the Maldives. And the reason why I've added Maldives here is just because Maldives is also open for travel, especially for South Africans as well. So it's getting quite a few South Africans going there this December, which we're all happy about. But just when it comes to the COVID as well, Maldives is more or less the same as the Seychelles, but you have to have your PCR test before you fly to the Maldives. And once you land in the Maldives, they will do another test before you actually go to your resort. With the Constance properties, we've got a lounge at the airport in Malé, and we've got a lounge there, and you get tested at the lounge itself. And the thing is, and what makes it a bit tricky is, once you actually then leave Malé on your seaplane flight to go to one of the resorts, they wait for that test to actually come back before the clients can actually leave their villas. But this normally takes, about 12 hours, 24 hours at most. So that first day, clients will have to stay in their villa. But that's unfortunately the rules of the Maldives government. But saying that, then at Constance properties, of course, you will get your room service. They will bring you your food and your drinks and all that. And of course, with our villas, I can think of much worse places than, to sit and wait for 12 hours than the villas itself. And then for the coming back, you also need your PCR test. That can be organized on the resorts itself. We actually get somebody in to come and do the injections. Unfortunately, it is an extra cost of about $185, but that includes, all the logistics involved, and you get that PCR test before you go back to South Africa. So you will need it in that 72-hour sort of bracket before you come back to South Africa. So just to keep you updated on that. So first of all, we start with Constance Mafouchi. So Constance Mafouchi, very well known for the all-inclusive, a very comprehensive all-inclusive. You've got quite a list of wines and drinks to choose from. Even the people that smokes, even some of your cigarettes are included as well, which is very unhealthy for you. So I don't actually promote it, but just to give you an idea on how all-inclusive we are, how comprehensive it is. So the resort itself is situated on the South Area Atoll, and we're situated in an area which is quite nice for shallower diving, but also for the deep diving as well. And we've got 110 villas. And of course, after 110 villas, you've got your beach villas. We've got about 24. We've got 24 beach villas, and then we've got our 56 water villas, and then we've got our 30 senior water villas as well. Beautiful little island, beach villas, very spacious. Strangely enough, most of our return clients, they always go for the beach villas just because they want to have that private patch of beach in front of them before they go into the water, which is great for sunbathing. And then, of course, we've got our water villas. So water villas, also very spacious, all of them with the direct access into the sea itself. We've got this beautiful bathroom with the bath hanging over the water. I always tell people it looks spectacular until you drop your soap, then you've got a bit of a problem. And then you've got your senior villas as well, also with direct access into the water, into the sea itself. Then dining-wise, we've got 2 restaurants. They also focus a lot on cuisine from all over the world, but of course focusing on more of the Far Eastern cuisine. So you get fantastic sushi. Just on this picture, this is part of the one restaurant, but you can see those thatch little huts there on the water in the background. Don't worry, those aren't the rooms. That's actually the spa. So the rooms aren't really that, it's not that small. And then we've also got 2 bars to choose from. But you can see with the restaurants itself, it's situated right there on the beaches. So, it's all focused on get your shoes off and go barefoot for the whole stay. And then you see that glass room there in the background. That's where we've got our wine cellar. So we've got great wines from all over the world, because that's always Constance's focus a lot on the wine and dining as well. This is just our other bar on the beach, and then our spa, as I mentioned before. So those are those little huts you saw earlier. So we've got 8 treatment rooms, and of course we do the yoga and water sport wise. So all the water sports can be done, of course, on the property itself, just like all the other Maldives properties. You sort of, you need to do everything from the island itself. You can't really go anywhere else. So we've got the Paddy Dive Center. We've got and all the water sports available from the property itself, like your diving, as well as snorkeling, stand-up paddling, your deep sea fishing, all that is available from the property itself. Then we've got a nice cinefushi. We call it cinefushi, but it's actually a cinema we put up on the beach itself, which is great for honeymoon couples. So we can do a nice romantic movie with wine, with popcorn and all that. And we can actually do it on the beach itself. And it's very popular. And even with groups, we can do it as well, because we can do a whole movie or a video of the group stay at the property itself. And on the last night, the gala dinner, they can watch the movie of them, enjoying the property. Then our second property in the Maldives, it's called Constance Halaveli. And this is also a leading hotel of the world. And this is 5-star plus property, definitely. Quite a unique thing about this property, as you can see, that long deck. It's the longest deck in the Maldives. It's about 600 meters, but clients won't have to worry. If you've got the water villa right on the one corner, you don't have to walk all the way back to land. We've got golf carts, but not just that. We also have 4 restaurants, but 2 of them are situated right there on the deck itself. So you don't have to go all the way back to the land part. So as you can see just on the map as well, how long that deck is. And again, yeah, we're on the North Area Atoll. So you will need the seaplane to get there. And the seaplane takes you about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes to actually get to the property. And again, yeah, we're situated on the atoll in such a way that you can actually do some nice shallow diving as well as deep sea diving. It's just the seaplane welcome. And quite an interesting thing. So yeah, we've got 86 villas, but quite interesting here is that your entry-level rooms at Halaveli is actually your water villas. So your beach villas are actually more expensive than your water villas. The reason for that is because of demand. We've got such a big demand for the beach villas because of the privacy. So we get quite a lot of clients from the Middle East that always books the beach villas way in advance. So the water villas are actually the entry level rooms at the Halaveli. But each and every villa at the resort got their own pool, as you can see with the water villas with their own infinity pools in front of them, but very spacious villas, as you can see. Then on the beach, on the beach itself, or on the island itself, we've got our beach villas. This is our double story villa. Then we've got our family villas. And strangely enough, with the bathrooms at these beach villas. So although it's very high in demand because of the privacy and all that on the beach itself, the whole bathroom is actually open outside. So it's just your toilet that's of course closed down, but you've got your basin and your bath and your showers, all that on the outside itself. This is just inside the family room. And then we've got our presidential villa. The presidential villa is massive. As you can see, it's 250 square meters. Even the area it actually is in, it's about 1,000 square meters. So also, strangely enough, very popular. It's always fully booked. But yeah, that's your presidential villa. Dining wise, we've got, as I mentioned, we've got 4 restaurants to choose from. We've got 2 bars. And again, the focus a lot on international dining, but also on Eastern dining, like your Taiwanese curries, as well as your sushis and all that as well. And again, a lot of focus on fantastic wines. So normally we sell Halaveli either on a bed and breakfast half board basis, but we can also do a supplement of an all-inclusive basis. When Mafushi is automatically, it's an all-inclusive basis. So our 4 restaurants, and then of course we've got a spa, and again, being a leading hotel of the world, we've got a leading spa of the world. And then, of course, the water sports are exactly the same as Mafushi. So everything's available right there on the property itself. Quite a unique thing. We've got a tennis court, but of course, we've got a paddy dive center as well as a water sports center where you can go and get your stand-up paddling boats and your kayaks and windsurfing and all that from as well. Mafushi, we don't have a kids club because the focus is basically there on it's open for the whole family. Family can, they can stay together, and that's sort of the focus there. Where at Halaveli we do have the kids club available for parents that want to actually have a bit of privacy, or even kids that are looking for friends and so on as well. This is a great place to meet a few friends. But again, like all our other kids clubs, this is quite nice because we've got a specific program. So it's not just there's the PlayStation, go and keep yourself busy. We actually try and give them a bit of education while they're staying there as well. But that is the properties in a nutshell. Sorry for taking so much time. But yeah, so that's the Seychelles and the Maldives properties, and I hope to actually show you the Mauritius properties as soon as the borders open for the Mauritius properties as such. But anyone with questions?
Thanks, Johan. That was awesome. Gosh, I wish we were there. Certainly looks beautiful. Does anyone have any questions for Johan?
Johan?
Yes.
I just want to find out the pools at Halaveli.
Yes.
Is it seawater or is it fresh water?
It is salt water. I don't know if it's sea water, but it's most of the time it's salt water. So they don't necessarily. It's still. I think they purify it from the sea, but they still treat it with salt itself. If that helps.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Joanna, all the properties open, Maldives and Seychelles?
Yes, all of them are open now.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And
the occupancy?
Occupancy is still very, very good because, I mean, of course, the occupancy, I think it's quite low for everyone. We were quite lucky. We had a group at Ophelia in the beginning of November from the Middle East. So they filled up the resort almost for the first 2 weeks. So we were quite lucky with that. But otherwise, we've got more than enough availability. You can just imagine. I don't think a lot of people are traveling, but we do get a few people traveling. So we do have the availability as well. So hopefully that gives you that answer.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you, man. It was well informed.
Thank you, Cameron. Yeah. And by the way, Cameron is going there next week to the Seychelles. So he can tell you more about it when he comes back.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Lucky bum.
Lucky me.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody, anything else for Johan? No, looks like you covered it all. Well done. Thanks, Siobhan, and thanks for everything. And yes, we'll definitely do Mauritius in the new year, and we can even see, maybe we can do Maldives again. But let's thank you for today. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Cameron.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.